Sudhin Choksey joins us, Managing Director with Gruh Finance, to walk us through how should one read into the new NHB circular. Mr. Choksey, good morning. Thank you for joining us. NHB is saying that no 10 by 90 or 5 by 95 schemes will be allowed. What does that mean? Is this going to further have an impact on low-cost housing stroke HFC demand?
I think, it has to be viewed from the, point of view of the prudence. I think, NHB has earlier also drew the attention of the HFCs, saying that, these are the schemes which primarily accommodate the developer because, they get a funding in advance, corresponding to the progress of the work. And indirectly, they are using a lower cost of funds. And then what happens, the borrower agrees to, taking a loan upfront in advance, which will be serviced by the developer. However, what happens, in case if the project doesn't get complete or there is a delay, and then there are many customer grievances because the loan is being serviced, loan has already been disbursed, and the unit is not completed. So I think there are many customer grievances were there in respect of such schemes. So I think NHB has now restricted. Though as a prudent measure, they had cautioned the HFCs about it.
Could you outline that through this scheme of 10 by 90 or 10 by 90 or 85 by 15, what was the total activity which was happening in the real estate market, and how large is this exposure for the small builders?
I think mainly it has been done by the large builders than the smaller builders. If you will see the various projects, especially during the period when the real estate sector has been slowing down, many new projects or many developers came out with a scheme that, we will pay 10%, you pay only 10% margin, and the balance 90% will come by way of a loan on which the servicing of the interest will be done by the developers. So I think this has been done for quite a while now. It's nothing new which has happened, but it gets, more spread over sector when the sector is going through a slower pace and the funding issues are there for the developers.
Mr. Choksey, but, could there be any discrepancy in whether or not some developers would be badly hit and some would be lesser hit? Because as we understand, even large developers will, be impacted because they've heavily relied on these kind of subventions so far. No, certainly. I think most of the developers, as you have rightly mentioned, lately, almost all leading developers, most of it, I think they have resorted to this practice, and there would be, in fact, it would be a slowdown because no more individual loans will be, disbursed unless until there is a progress of the work. So I think if you look at NHB's regulation, which has just come out, the circular, they have put three aspects of it. One, it should not be participating in such subvention schemes. Obviously, that funding to the developer will stop. Two, the disbursal of the loan should be linked to the progress or the construction progress. And the third, that all HFCs are expected to put in place a system to monitor the progress of the construction. So I think there is a lot of responsibility put, and therefore developers will face further difficulty.
Fair enough. So clearly some of the big developers are likely to be impacted by this scheme. Thank you so much, Mr. Choksey, for joining in and giving us those details.